welcome back to the This Mum at Home channel. I am Christy and I have a blog called thismumathome.com. Go and check that out if you want ways to simplify your life as a busy mum. That's what I do over there. This channel here, I do the same thing plus some daily vlogs. So you don't miss anything, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell button here. And yeah, let's get started on today's Simple Sundays. Okay, so here's my pantry. If you're a VIP member, you would already know about my buckets and how I use them because you know with my meal plan with me videos, and I've also done a pantry tour as well, but you get to see how I rotate everything and stuff. But basically what I ended up doing when I first decluttered everything and just went crazy with neatening all of this was I bought these tubs from Kmart. They're really cheap. I think they're like $7. I've labeled them with certain things that, like, this is school snacks, so this is what I do my lunchbox meal planning for Joseph's school lunch. It's all done in that. I've got meal bases in there, which I'll show you what's inside them in a minute, but that was another big one. I've got biscuits, so that's more like rice cakes, dry biscuits, that kind of stuff. These are just other snacks like maybe popcorn, muesli bars, sultanas, any of those little packaged sort of goods. And then we've got, what is that, noodles and pasta down here, and potatoes and onion. And then back up here I've got cake decorations, which is not a container I go into often because I'm not baking cakes every week to decorate, so that's kind of there. But then here are some more baking supplies which I did in these containers as well, which are from Kmart too, which I just really love these. Like, they look nice. I like the black and white and it just functions and works really well. So the way I work it is the things that we're having for that week or 2 weeks, if I'm doing a 2-week plan, is generally sort of in the front, and then I rotate from behind there. So, you know, my spare, what have I got there? Rice cakes behind there. I normally have quite a few more biscuits and stuff. I'm doing my groceries tomorrow, so it is looking a bit empty, but I would, you know, once we've run out of rice cakes in here, I would grab the pack from there and put them in here. So people know just to go into these. That's all they do. They go into these buckets. I try to keep them as neat and clean as possible. The reason I did the buckets was to make it function better for me, and because it's a small space, it just meant that everything was kept clean, because I was so sick of not being able to see things, not being able to plan properly. Everything was all over the place. People would leave stuff in all the time and drove me nuts. So this is how I do my pantry. If you would like these labels, they are available on the blog. I'll leave a link below to the blog post so you can read about the pantry organisation and stuff, and actually see the labels as well. There's heaps of labels. It's like a pack of 40 or something on there, so go and check that out. And I've just, some people laminate them and things. I've made these myself, so they're part of my the This Mum at Home blog. I've just taped them on with a thick packing tape, and yeah, they've not come off. They've been on there for over 12 months, so I really love them. On this side I've kind of got cereals as well done. Haven't really got stuff here because it's drinks, and then I've got more of an open basket here for, you know, tall bottles like oils and things like that, spices in there. I don't have many spices, so that's all I need. So it's just in the little bucket. You can buy the little buckets. I think they're about $4, but yeah, that's kind of how I have it set up. But I'm going to go through all of this and declutter it and clean it up. Also behind there, if you watched the kitchen decluttering video, which was last week's video, go and check it out on the Simple Sundays playlist. But I've got my baking stuff up behind there, like all the things that I need at some point, like for baking or cooking, but I don't use weekly, I store behind there. So it keeps my actual kitchen area really decluttered, and yeah, I'm not fighting to get pots and pans out of the drawer. So I'm going to clean up behind there as well. So I've just pulled out these buckets at the moment so I can clean up the shelves. So here are my shelves. They're pretty empty. There's some things behind, but not a lot. Like I said, I'm doing my groceries tomorrow, so I have doing my meal planning and all that kind of stuff tonight. So I'm just going to start going through stuff. So things you look for are things that are out of date, things that you're not really going to use in time, or you just think you're not going to use. I would donate those. Things that expired I would throw out, obviously. But I'm pretty good, and I'm on top of this every single week. This is something I do as part of my meal planning, is just go through all of this kind of stuff. So it's really easy for me, obviously, today. But when you guys first start, I'm sure you'll have a better system sort of set in after you do it the first time to sort of check stuff. So these are just, oh my gosh, these are lollies. Would you believe this is from a year ago and Joseph still hasn't finished them? Like, that's how often we have lollies in our house. I do need to clean up. I don't know what that is. That's like a banana in. I don't even know why, but I'll clean that up. Everything's good here. I've got pine nuts, soup mix, some soup which is still in date, and stock I just bought, so I know that that's fine. I bought that last grocery haul. Down here I've just got a packet of rice cakes which came in the last grocery haul. If you don't know, I do grocery hauls every fortnight, and obviously I do meal planning and everything beforehand, so it's all part of it. But and that's it. So there's some noodles because I can't put them in the bucket. This is like a 10 pack I got from Big W. Really awesome to buy, you know, a few things from Big W in bulk, and that's one of the things that we do because Johnny loves those noodles. My rice cooker I have up here and behind it. The rice cooker is my only utensil besides not utensil, appliance besides my kettle and toaster. That's all I have. I don't have a slow cooker anymore, electric frying pan, blender, nothing like that at all now. I literally only have this, and I got rid of everything else during my declutter. And do you know what? I've not missed any of those items over the last 12 months. So this is basically all I need. Otherwise I just use my stovetop and the microwave and the oven, and just use my pots and pans and things. So very simple, very easy. But before I did get rid of those appliances, I did store a blender behind here, a slow cooker, all that kind of stuff. And it was a real pain pulling it out when I was going to use it, and I just figured I didn't need them, and that's why I got rid of them. I used my pots and pans instead. So that's my only appliance. So those shelves are nice and clean. I'm going to go through the buckets now and just get rid of expired foods, things we don't want anymore, all that kind of stuff. So the first one we have here, which we're going to clean out, is a school snacks, which, yeah, there's nothing in here, but I will give it a wipe out. There's nothing in here because tomorrow's Friday and it's the end of my 2 weeks and I'm doing groceries. So this is empty, but at the start of, after I do my grocery shopping, I meal plan, lunchbox meal plan for the next 2 weeks, and this is full again, just with things that I know I'm putting in Joseph's lunchbox so no one else eats them. Everyone knows not to go into this tub, so it's a great thing to have to stop not having, you know, I would run out of muesli bars and stuff like that because people would eat them and not realize that I still needed them and all that kind of stuff, because, you know, they just don't think. So this was great to have in the pantry, so I highly recommend lunchbox meal planning. I'll put a link below to a video on that. It was another Simple Sundays video as well, so it's really useful. That and freezer sandwiches. So yeah, I'll put the link below so you guys can have a look. So that one's done. This one is snacks. So this one is looking very empty. I just emptied out sometime during the week. I emptied out just the last of, you know, the potato curls in there, popcorn, the rice wheels and things. This bucket is so empty because this would normally have muesli bars in it, sultanas, maybe some Rafferty's things, pouches for Isabella, just any other little snacky things like that. But it is empty. Time to do groceries. So it's looking clean, so I won't actually need to wipe that one out, and everything's in date, so that's all good. Okay, this is my meal bases tub, and this has, I pretty much put things in here that I might be going to have for the 2 weeks and things, or, you know, just things will stay in here depending on what they are. So generally I have stuff in here like rice. I have rice in here always. That always stays in. I have things like pineapple, some apricot nectar. What have I got here? Some baked beans. They're sort of an emergency, okay, we're having this and the kids don't like it, so they'll have baked beans sort of thing. I've still got some pizza sauce, so I've just got one, so I'll get rid of the package and just keep that. These are all within date still, so that's fine. What have I got here? 1 cup of soup, so I'll keep that and get rid of the box. So I know when I do my meal planning and my grocery list that I'm going to need some more of these things, obviously. So it's all just a bit clearer in here now. So there's really not that much in here. Other things I keep in here are like taco kits, spaghetti sauce, stir fry sauces, just anything meal based. Things like this where, what's this one? Oh, the garlic and potato bake, but I've had this one for ages. Actually, I should check the expiry on it. Oh no, not until February, so that's good. I'll keep that one. But I'll have like a deviled sausage mix in here as well. You know, just anything we're going to have for main meal basis that's packaged, I'll keep in here. Otherwise, things, if I buy like, you know, 3 spaghetti sauces because they're on sale or something, I might put one in here and then the other 2 behind on the shelf. That's kind of how I keep it stocked. So really, it's just the things I need for that grocery period I will keep in here. So this is all good though. Everything's good here. I will check. So what have we got in here? Rice cakes, and these were only open this week, so those ones are still good. They're not stale. I've only got this much left, so that's good. These were opened today actually by the kids, and we don't have shapes all the time. It's just if they're on special, then we get them as a little sort of treat, and they won't have them every day obviously. They'll just be sort of a once in the fortnight sort of thing usually. There's a few in there. I would normally take that out and put them into a clear bag, but I think I might actually keep them out on the bench and I'll use them tomorrow. So they're all good for that. I've also got some pancakes in here because, well, that one's looking a bit burnt. I actually made these today for Isabella and she just had a couple, so I'm just going to keep those in here and she'll have some more tomorrow maybe, or Joseph, we'll see, or Johnny. Johnny will probably eat them all before anyone gets to them, but they're there, so they're all good. I will put these at the front though so people see them when they go into this bucket. And this usually, oh yeah, saladas. They usually have any packaged biscuits open, like saladas, the little peckish biscuits I'll put in here. I'll put Cruskets in here. So it's usually one sort of biscuit at a time, obviously. And I can see them, so we make sure we eat those. And if the spare packs obviously go behind, and I usually have a lot of backup sort of dry biscuits like the rice cakes and that at the start of my fortnight after I've done my groceries. So okay, that one's good, and it's clean, I think, too. My buckets are actually, oh, it's not too bad. My buckets are actually usually good because I do actually clean these out probably once a month, so I don't need to do that today. But you might need to do that if this is your first time decluttering your pantry. Okay, noodles and pasta. I have, so these really collect a lot of plastic, so I'll get rid of those. I like to unpackage things when I can, so I can see what I've actually got. So I've got a half packet there because Isabella just has half a packet. So if she's the only one home and Joseph's not, then she might, and she's asked for them for lunch, then that's what she'll have. So she might have that tomorrow, the rest of that. These are all good. Oh, what have I got here? Oh, my egg noodles as well. Alright, so I'm just going to neaten these up. Have them so I know what type we've got. And then put it here. Put this one over here so I know. I have some spirals over. Oh, why have I got that in there? I don't know why that's in there. I think I might have had pasta in there at one point because I had a gigantic bag, but normally I would have muesli in there. That's fine. I've got that there, so that makes a bit more room. So yeah, we're looking good in here. It's clean. Everything's good. Okay, potatoes and onions. What I look for in this kind of stuff, it's same with the fruit bowl and the fridge and things when I go through the veggies, is if things are still okay and not, you know, gone bad and moldy and stuff. I have one potato there, but it's looking a bit weird. I might actually take that out. The bag of potatoes is good. This onion's still good. Brown onions, they're all good. I know these are fairly new, this packet, but you know, you never know. You get like the odd yucky onion in there and then it makes the whole thing smell, but no, they're all good. Okay, this is where it's going to get really messy because I've just thrown some stuff in here. Obviously, I don't know why. This is Joseph's lunchbox and I've already packed it for tomorrow just with things that he can, that don't need refrigerating. So everything else like his sandwich, fruits, custard, all that kind of stuff is already in the fridge. So I'm just going to sit this up here. Okay, so my spices. Isabella got into this today. I saw she stole something. Oh, there it is, it's back. It was nutmeg. Johnny must have put it back. I have toothpicks in here too. I will keep them there because I need it for a bit of a go-to. Vegeta's okay. It's nearly empty, so I'll probably need that for my groceries. I'll see. Rosemary. This is all fairly new and still in date, so that's all super. Okay, what have we got? Oh my gosh, the gigantic peanut butter. This will not go out of date. We got this fairly recently and it was on one of the grocery hauls. You have to see the video. It's so big. I ordered it online and didn't realize. I got it because it was on sale and I didn't realize how big it was. Look at my hand. Gigantic. What have I got here? Honey. It's still in date because I do use that very often. That's a new source, so that's all good. Oils are fine. That's fine. I just bought that actually last grocery haul. The vinegar's fine. This oil's fine. Spray oil. What are these? Oh, tea bags. Okay, well, I don't really, apart from Johnny's nephew, there's no one else I really know, I don't think, that drinks tea. These are going to probably be bad. I don't know the expiry on them, so I might actually get rid of those and just get another box. I really just had them in here for Johnny's nephew when he'd come and stay, but he hasn't been for a while because he's busy working and things, so I might just get a new fresh batch of those. That's looking dirty in there. Oh, Vegemite, of course, that's fine because we go through that quickly. So I might just give this a clean out. Okay, so behind those containers, I have Mentos here, which we're still finishing off. This was from doing like a Mentos in Coke experiment with Joseph. So we've just been gradually just eating, because there was so many, so we've just been eating them. It was like $2 for the whole bag, and so I bought them because it was cheaper than buying a little one to do his experiment. Anyway, I'll get those and put them with the other lollies. I have some pepper here, which I didn't realise, but this should actually, might actually be able to put that in my pepper grinder thingy. What else have we got? My God, we've got so many things. Oh my God, cat food. We don't have a cat, but Johnny bought this last summer because we had a wasp problem, and you put it in this bottle and you get rid of wasps that way. So I'll keep that because it matches, but it probably needs to go into an emergency kit. Yeah, we'll keep that because we'll use that again. And I don't know why. Oh, I put this here because Isabella was getting into this because the back's come off. I don't know where it is, so I would need to take that out and sort it out. This cylinder was for a soda stream, but it's an old one. I might actually take that into Kmart and get them to dispose of it because I don't know what to do with it, and I think it's empty. Then I've got a battery charger for my phone. That should actually be in a container that's up behind there that has batteries and things in it. Okay, this egg container here, we've got 2 of these and we have them in the fridge. And I've put I buy a big 30 pack of eggs pretty much every grocery shop, and I fill them up and stuff, but this has run out, so this is where I store it. Otherwise this is kind of my drinks area. So I don't really have a lot in here. Normally I have Coke, lemonade, like the diet lemonade, the sugar-free Coke, cordial, spare juice boxes, that kind of stuff. I need to stock up for those. So these are all good. These are all in date. A few things are stuck in here. Coffee's good. This is solid. This should be actually in the cake baking area, so I'll move. Is that what it is? Yep, I'll move that up. These are my piping bags. I think I used these, and this is what I've done. I've used these and just thrown this in here as a quick option, then putting up the top. And because every time I do my meal planning, I do go through the tubs, but I don't necessarily go behind the tubs and see what's in here. So this is why this is all popping up now. So it's good to do this properly every few months. So I'll put those away. These I need. I had to put these up here because Isabella got into them. Oh my gosh, I have a charger up here that needs to go in the battery box. Some melts for my thing needs to go in the cupboard. What are these? Oh, these are just birthday things. So this is like a fake foam thing which I use. Well, I think I use this for holding cake pops in it, but I'll use this probably with a birthday cake to make a double layer or something. And there's some old birthday stuff as well, which we've not used. Again, they're Barbie stuff that we use for Isabella, so I might actually sell that and anything I've got now, because we're not probably going to use it again because she'll have something different next birthday. But I've just thrown it up in there, so I better get that. This is a spare tray which I had to put in here. This is out of the fridge because Isabella kept getting it from beside the fridge, so it drove me nuts. So I might find a place for that. Okay, up here we have a super amount of bread right now. So we have bread for free because my husband's a baker, and he bought an extra loaf home because I really wanted wholemeal, but he doesn't like wholemeal, so he bought white bread home, which is actually the high fibre. It's probably the best bread for you there. But I might just move these down. And I might actually put this full one in the freezer as a spare backup for when he has like holidays and stuff, which he's got coming up. What else have I got up here? Oh, the red label Johnny Walker. That's Johnny's. He drinks it. Well, he bought 2 of those. They're massive bottles. I think they're like the 1 litre. But he bought 2 bottles on the cruise we went in what was it, in May, at the start of May, we went on a cruise, and he got 2 because they're super cheap, you know, from duty free and stuff like that, and he still hasn't finished this one. Like, it's taken him that long. We're actually in, what are we in, October now, nearly at the end of October, and he's still going, so he's done pretty well. It's lasted a long time. Behind there is a bottle of red wine, which I'm just keeping there. I might actually give that to someone when they come over, I'm thinking of, because I'm probably not going to drink it. It's Shiraz and it's a bit dry for me, but someone gave it to me, and yeah, it's just been sitting there, so I might get rid of that from there. That's fine. Cereal, I need to empty the cereal into probably this one here. This is cornflakes, and I might put that into a separate container because I was using this for a different chicken coating recipe, which I haven't done yet, so I might do that and just put the Nutri-Grain in there, because this is something we have, or Joseph has, pretty much every day. He loves that. And then I've got sultana bread in here, so that's actually good. That's fresh. Behind there is my battery container, so, and chargers and things like that, so that's fine, that can stay there. So this shelf's actually pretty good. Okay, so that side's all done and decluttered, pretty good. So I did have a fair bit on this shelf here, so I'm glad I've cleared that out, because it was just piling up, which I have a bad habit of doing when I'm quickly throwing stuff in there to hide from Isabella. So down here, I'll just point this out. So this box has just plastic bags in it from the supermarket, which we use for various things. And this bucket here is for me to do stockpiling in. So if you want to know more about that, I think I mentioned it on the VIP meal plan with me video last fortnight, but I've started stocking up for school holidays coming in December, because it's our big break, so we don't go back to school till February, and I'm trying to make sure I've just got extra things here so I'm not spending extra on groceries, because we do go through a lot more food when both Joseph and Isabella are at home. So I'm trying to prepare and do a bit of a stockpile thing. I also do stockpiling for when I'm going to do a no spend week, or we go away on vacation, so when we come back we don't have to do groceries, that kind of stuff. So I do it fairly often, but I'm doing a big one this time. I'm hoping to anyway. So that's what's in here. There's not much in there right now, so I will show it to you. Oh, that's just like a coal bag thing. What have I got? Crossets and a couple of sweet biscuits. That's it. So I'll talk more about that in the meal plan with me video coming up for the VIPs this week. And I might even mention, I'll talk about stockpiling in my grocery haul for sure, and you can see what extra things I'm actually getting this week. So every week I'm going to get a few little extra things to throw in here in the freezer, that kind of stuff, and just build it up. But there will be a blog post on the actual This Mum at Home blog, so be sure to go and check that out if I do, and you can learn more about it and sort of see how I do it and what you should do too. And then down here is just our recycling in here. So our recycling bin's just gone out, so that's Joseph's job. He needs to get that and put it in the recycling bin, so he can do that tomorrow. Okay, and just up the top there, I'm just going to leave, that's kind of Johnny's sort of area. We've got really poisonous stuff up there, like methylated spirits and Drano. That was a panel off Joseph's bed, which I don't know why Johnny would want to keep that wood, but I'm sure I'll get him to clean that out tomorrow. There's some tools up there. And my dad has hidden his soup cups up there for when he comes and visits, which is like once a year because he lives in Queensland. So I will leave them up there for you, Dad. That's fine. He hid them up there and I found them when I was cleaning up like a week after he left. So they've been sitting there ever since, but I'll keep them there for him. I'm going to go through this area now because it's a bit of a mess, but I'll just go through, see what flour and things needs refilling. If I've got it, I'll do it, and yeah, and go through that big tub there. Okay, so the good thing about, I forgot to say about these tubs, you know, washing them out, I just do them in the laundry sink because they fit well. They've got holes in them, so it's good. You start just running hot water through them, dishwashing detergent, and, you know, the excess water comes through here, and it's great. Like, they're really good to clean. Plus, you can just wipe down the top of the lids too. I've just wiped down these lids because, oh, that's still looking a bit dirty, but they're easy to clean up too. So these are super. I love these containers. So I've gone through and just filled a couple of things that I had, stuff like sugar, I had extra sugar, and icing sugar, I had extra of that. So I've just filled those up. Obviously I need things like caster sugar, some baking soda, that kind of stuff. So I know that for the grocery haul now, that will be fine for that. I found this behind my decorating thing. This is fondant, and it's actually out of date. Went out of date at the start of this year, so I'm going to get rid of that, which I was surprised it went out of date because, you know, it's sugar. I don't know. Anyway, that's going to get thrown out. And now I just need to go through this container here. This stuff here is all the baking stuff that was behind the you know, the tubs and all that kind of stuff. So I just thought I'd show you. So it's stuff that I still use, but I don't use all the time. So I've got different cake tins there for different stuff. Like I use this one for a slice, maybe that one for a loaf or a mini lasagna. Obviously those for just birthday cakes. A muffin tin, which I use for various things. A smaller glass dish, which I don't use all the time, but I'm keeping it because I use it for like a quiche, pudding, and my pasta bake usually. That's like a rolling pin, a fondant rolling pin, but I use that for everything. So I just keep that up there because it's really big to fit in the drawers. And then in here is just all my fun baking stuff. It's pretty much sort of, well, Isabella's stuff at the moment. So I've got a few fondant tools. I've got, these are silicone like little teacups with little plates. So they're really fun for birthday. And this is a castle kit. So I'm keeping that because I'll use that for birthdays. But yeah, it's just stored up there. Isabella had a bad habit of like getting these out. They were actually in that bottom drawer there. That's where they were stored. That drawer is now empty because I just couldn't keep her out of it. So yeah, I've really cut down on all my baking stuff, but this is what I've kept. So my cake decorating tub here, I don't go into this often, and things are in here that shouldn't be in here, like my little piping set. So I need to move that out. Well, these cookie cutters, they need to go over with the baking stuff, but I just need to check if things are out of date. What's that, 2020? Great, these are awesome. I might actually put these on my, where am I going to put these? Maybe on the drink shelf, just so I remember to use that this week, because I forgot I even had them. I've got this too, which I've got this because I was going to use it for royal icing, which I might still try. Yeah, it's still in date, so I might keep that. Otherwise, I've got sprinkles galore, lots of different sprinkles. What's that? Vanilla essence, which I use often. Why have I got marshmallows? I must have bought these for some reason. What's the date on them? Oh, they're out of date, so they can go. More sprinkles. Obviously sparklers, because, you know, the danger. So they're in their clear bags. That's good. Some candles. And then I think this is just full of, yeah, my dyes and things. So not much to record in here. That needs a bit of a clean. But usually I'll keep in here like spare icing sugar, spare sugar. Like if I've emptied some into these containers and the rest doesn't fit, I'll store it in here and I'll just refill from here. But this is looking good. Okay, it's done. And now the rest of the pantry looks awesome, and it's all decluttered and cleaned up and everything. Like I said, the pantry, all these tubs and everything, it's just behind it. I don't clean up and things every fortnight, but otherwise all the tubs I always go through before I start my meal planning and going through all my pantry, fridge and freezer. I always check those areas first before I actually start. So I do a regular cleanup. That's why there's not a lot of foods in there that need to be thrown out, or packages and stuff like that. So because I do it regularly, and that's what you should do now. If you start doing this, you should do it regularly. Every time you go to do groceries and want to check your pantry and do your meal planning and stuff, you should go through these areas every single time. Doing the big cleanup behind and the decluttering and stuff that I've done today, that's when you should do that, like every few months or so, whenever you're comfortable and have the time to do that. So I'm going to start off with my fridge. This is an area that I do every single time that I do my meal planning and start doing my grocery list and stuff. So I'm going to do this before I do my meal planning and just see what I've got left in here to get rid of. Some tomatoes I could put in a smaller container. I actually might give those to Joseph for school tomorrow. Oh, this is feeling a bit soft, so I might cut that up and actually put that in the freezer. So I will keep that out. Pumpkin's new. I got that today because I needed it. Carrots are good. Oh, that's feeling a bit soft. I actually forgot about these because they were buried under, which is a really bad thing to happen. I don't often actually have to throw out vegetable stuff because it's gone bad, but this week I actually did forget it. And I've got another capsicum, which that one feels good, so I'll keep that one there. Here I have fruit on this side, and I've put the tomatoes there just because I didn't really have room in here at the time. I didn't want them to get squashed, so I've got them here. But blueberries and strawberries I just got today, so they're all good and fine. In here, Johnny's throwing this in here. What is this? Oh, the kids' lemonade. Normally I have juice boxes in there, but he's thrown that in there because this is a bit full at the moment. I stupidly went and bought 2 litre milks instead of 3 litres. So we've been having to pull these out of our freezer like every day because we need more milk. So I'm going back to buying the 3 litres. I just bought the 2 litres because it was easier to carry. Like, what did I buy last week? I think I bought like 9 or something, maybe even 10, because I put them in the freezer. So if you watch the grocery hauls, or if you're a VIP member and watch the meal plan with me videos, you see that how much milk I actually buy and I freeze it. So yeah, it's taken up a lot of space. This stock I'm going to get rid of because I'm not going to use the rest of that before it go bad. That's all good. Custard in there, that's all good. So I usually have custard and yogurts for Joseph in here. And then Isabella's little yogurts I keep here because she just automatically goes to this part of the fridge because that's where I used to have them, her little ones. So I keep them in here for her. Plus, that gets quite full once I have my yogurts in there too because I have a specific yogurt I like. So that's quite full there. But sauces, we go through that easy. Done. The soy, still haven't used the rest of this, but I better just check the expiry. Well, I don't know whether you can see that, but it says 2020, so that is lying. Completely fine. I'll just check the expiry on that one, 2020, and that one's 2020. So sauces are all good. Butter's fine. This I haven't used this week, so I will get rid of that because it's only half full. Fat is all good. The garlic mince is all good, so that shelf's fine. It probably just needs a clean actually. What have I got here? Some chopped chips left over. Some butter I use for cooking. Has that been opened? Yes, it has been opened. So that will last, 4 weeks in the fridge open. So that's all good. They're just little sauces which can stay. Chicken we just did tonight. The salad I've actually just cut up tonight. So that's all good. Spinach, I think that's still in date and I need to use that for a salad. So yeah, that's all good. Eggs are good. Oh, I might get rid of this wine. I bought this for a recipe and I used it. It's just a really cheap red wine. And then I had a glass as well. It was actually nice. And I don't normally like Shiraz. I don't like it at all. It's pretty dry, but it was good at the time. And I might actually throw out that cheese block because it's going a bit yucky. It's been open for 2 weeks, so maybe even just over a little bit of 2 weeks. So I will get rid of that. Okay, my freezer. So this is where I store my frozen set. Okay, I'm in the freezer now. So I have 2 freezers. I've got the fridge freezer here, which I pretty much have stuff that I'm going to have for that week sort of stocked in here generally. Or if I've just the sausages I broke up and I couldn't go out to the shed. Our chest freezer's in our shed, so it's a bit of a pain to go out there, unlock it and all that. So I just quickly threw them in there, so I'll have to go take them out. But generally this is my rotation system where I pull stuff from the back freezer and bring it into here for that week. So this is what's left and what's going on. So I'll see what I need to throw out. That's where I store my freezer sandwiches for Joseph's school lunches. So that's empty because tomorrow's the last day. That's still got party pies in it. Lamb mince, I'll have to pull that out tomorrow. I might make my lamb parcels. I haven't made them yet. What have I got? Dim Sims. A little bit of chips there. This bacon I haven't used yet, that's fine. Still got some raisin loaf there. I might actually pull that out and try to eat that up tomorrow with the kids and myself as well. And then, what have I got there? Oh, my pastry, so that's fine. These sausages here I do need to move back into the chest freezer, so I'm going to pull those out and take them. I have dated them because I'm actually using these to as part of my stockpiling, so I'm going to put them in the freezer and hopefully use those sort of December, January. Chicken breast here, I'll put there, that's all good. Freezer's easy because nothing's usually too out of date. What's that, my capsicum? Oh no, my celery, I did that. One of the VIP members, she posted something about cutting up your celery. This is my celery, I did that pretty much the same day you did. My grated carrot, spinach, I might get rid of that actually. That's been in there for a while and it's okay, but I'm not going to use it anytime soon, so I might actually get rid of that. Some shredded cheese there, so that's all good. And then I've just got my garlic butter. Okay, so this is my chest freezer. It's kind of empty, but I'm trying to stock it back up for that school holiday time. So I'm just going to neaten it up, but I've got butter in here, which I'm going to stock up. We're going to using butter instead of margarine because margarine's got palm oil. I've said this 1,000 times, but I just realised that it wasn't very good. So we've gone to butter. That's kind of stuck in there. Cheese, that's from Aldi. That's the cheese we use. We really like that cheese. Okay, and we've got some freezer meals there. That's fine. Milk's so lucky I'm doing groceries soon. Only one milk, so that's fine. So you can see it kind of goes a yellow color and expands, but once it defrosts, it goes back to white and you just shake it up and it's all good. It's just the fat separating in the milk. That's why it looks like that. Icy poles are good. This bag of ice, I'm pulling this out. I don't know, we kind of put this in here, I don't know, about a year ago. I'm pretty sure it would have been around summertime, and I can't remember why. But I'm going to get rid of it because it's just taking up space. So that's the freezer done. Obviously when there's more stuff in here, I like to make sure I rotate, put things in like meals and stuff in that are new at the bottom, all that kind of stuff. So this is what I do try to do in here. So this is going to become quite full, and it is a bit of a pain having a chest freezer like this instead of a stand up, because you've got to go down to the bottom of things to find things. But I usually know what's in here, and I usually, if it is quite full, I'll have like a inventory list on the outside of the freezer, so I know exactly what's in here. So I will talk about that in another video, I would say, to do with, you know, the inventory and stuff like that. But this is what it's looking like at the moment. So once this starts getting full, I'll have to declutter this area and just keep an eye on it pretty much more often. So that is my pantry, fridge and freezers all decluttered and cleared. So the whole point of this and doing this very regularly is so you just, things are so much more simple when you're doing your grocery list, your grocery shopping, meal planning if you do meal planning, which you should do if you want to simplify your life even more, do meal planning. It has made my world so much easier because doing meal planning extends off into different areas, which I'm going to talk about in another video. But you know, it cuts back on cooking, it cuts back on your trips out for groceries, it cuts back on your groceries, the time you spend out, the money you spend, all that kind of stuff. So it's super useful, meal planning, but this is part of the meal planning process. And just by keeping this all clean and decluttered and functional, you're able to just simplify that part so much more. You spend less time. Like, I can be in and out of my pantry so quickly if I was just doing a normal grocery list and meal planning and all that kind of stuff. It's super quick, whereas before I used to take so much time. I would get stuff that I didn't necessarily need because I didn't realize I had it, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, definitely something to do. So get in your kitchens, go and declutter your fridge, freezer and pantries, and yeah, come back next week for another Simple Sundays video. We're going to do something else. Maybe, I think I'm going to tackle clothing next and show you how I set up the kids' drawers and everything, so you can see things a lot easier in them, and I'll show you how many clothing items I actually have for the kids, which most of you will probably be shocked because we don't have a lot, and that's something I've done to reduce laundry, and we just didn't need it, basically. I'll go into it next week and tell you all about it, but it's basically made my life a lot more simple in that way and just more functional again, and that's what it's all about, guys. I now have more time to do the fun things with my kids and my life and everything. So yeah, anyway guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Don't forget to give a thumbs up, and I will see you next time. Bye.